Guys, question.
Yeah.
What's the first song that comes to your head if I was to shout, stop?
Collaborate and listen.
Strong.
Badly, I go into Jedward's version.
Jedward's
which
version.
is embarrassing, but
Nice.
yeah.
Not as aggressive, but I think of stop right now. Thank you very much. I need somebody with a female touch. Is it human? Female?
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't even think there's a song, but I want stop and just take a break before you blow a fuse. Relax.
That is a song, but I don't think they're the words.
They're not remotely the words.
I
You're
think-
singing "Stop in the Name of Love" is the melody you're singing.
Oh, I remember.
Stop,
that.
it's from an advert, isn't it?
Yeah, from a Kit Kat advert. Take a break.
Yeah.
It sounds like a
when I
Kit
was
Kat
in
advert.
school, there was an ad. There was a drink called Yop,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the advert genuinely was someone asleep, and then they would start singing. When I wake up in the morning, I'm still asleep. I really don't want no toast. I want no OJ, no tea, no cereal. Give me a yogurt drink. I want in first. Whoa, give me Yup. Me mama smooth Yup. Me mama give me Yup. Me mama when the morning come.
What?
Give me Yup. Me mama smooth Yup. Me mama Yup for when the morning come. And generally that was the accent they did it in. Like, I kid you not.
I am not remotely surprised by that.
Ah, it's thrilling. That's incredible.
Quite insane that you remember all of it.
Yeah.
Me the power of a good jingle.
Me and my, yeah.
What's your favourite jingle?
Probably that one. We Buy Any Car is pretty strong.
Yeah.
We Buy Any Car.
That,
Hastings Direct. 0800 00 1066.
Yeah.
They get you. They know what they're doing.
That's hilarious.
Bang and the Dirty's Gone. That's not
Bang!
Really,
Yeah.
that's not really a...
What was
He's
the
a
guy's
bit-
name?
he's a bit of a
Barry.
throwback.
Yeah,
His name's Barry from Sill It Bang.
Do you remember?
Barry Scott.
that was the name. Barry Scott. Yeah.
Funny.
Do you guys remember the old Asda one? Asda Smart Price. Asda Price. Boom, boom.
That's why mums go to Tesco. I never
Iceland.
understood that phrase.
Iceland.
Is it
That's why
Iceland?
mums
Yeah.
go to Iceland.
Iceland.
Tesco's every little help.
Shout
Yeah,
out,
of
was it
course.
Kerry Katona?
Shout out Kerry.
There's-
That's what I
there's-
never thought we'd
that's
shout
some
out on
good
this
ones right there.
Shout out Kerry.
If you're
Yeah,
listening,
you can come on one time if
Here's
you
a
want.
question. What's your most favourite air fryer item?
I don't have an air fryer.
What's going on?
that's the most middle class question I've ever heard.
It is true. That is proper middle class.
Okay. So, all right.
You're a Surrey boy now, my friend.
Chips.
Don't worry, I have an air fryer too.
Chips in an air fryer.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
an air fryer. I'm
What?
not sorry.
Yeah,
Innit?
you are. You live in Surrey.
Yeah, but I'm not from here.
Yeah,
What's,
so?
And I
what's
make that
your
very
favourite thing to put in
clear.
there?
My favourite thing. I love just like putting in like potato of any sort, just chopping it up. Oil, spices, salt.
Yeah,
to, like,
it's
Yeah.
good. It's good.
Patatas brava.
So Joel, you don't have an air fryer?
Nope.
Joe, do you?
I mean, the house I've just moved into has one, but
Yeah,
I
it's
have
gonna
never
change your
owned
life.
an air fryer myself. I don't know how to use them.
I don't have enough space on my worktops in my kitchen for an air fryer.
In the cupboard.
But then you have to get it out every time. It just feels like
Yeah.
faff.
It's true.
Also, what a great word. Faff.
Foul.
Yeah, air fryers are great. Air fryers are good. Chicken
Can you cook
wings.
falafel in an air fryer?
Yeah.
You can.
Falafels are
Anything you
dry.
can put in an oven, you put in an air fryer, I think.
I don't like falafels.
Yeah, nor do I.
Right.
Hannah, falafels.
Yeah, I do.
Falafel?
Can you make
Or falafel?
can you make shreddies soggy in an air fryer?
Nah.
What would happen if you put shreddies in an air fryer?
Go crispy.
If you put them with milk,
It'd blow around. That's what. Would they really blow around? Have you tried it, Ben? Ben's tried it. Yeah.
Oh, that's criminal. Yeah, it would do.
Really? So for those of you who couldn't hear that, he put burger cheese in his air fryer and it just went everywhere. On top of
cheese on fish
that would
fingers.
be an elite sandwich,
That's
though.
crazy.
Mad.
Elite sandwich. Awesome.
Have you,
Cheese on
maybe
fish
next time you should get
fingers.
like American burger cheese and like wrap it in the cheese. It'd be disgusting, but it can't fly away. So
That's good. I don't know if you can see this, but Hannah, there's a problem with the camera. You have a GCSE in computer science.
We don't study cameras.
Can you go and fix it, please? Joking. Hannah has a degree in computer science.
It's not a degree.
GCSE. I really overstated it.
With honours.
With honours.
It was
Strong
actually
little
BSc.
2-1.
BSc computer science.
not even
Desmond
like
Tutu.
it's not even an A-level equivalent. It's like GCSE.
What is it? Computer science.
Just computing. That was what it was called.
Computing.
Computing.
Lesson 1. Control V, copy. Lesson 2.
Being
Control
serious,
P.
that was like the
Sorry,
first
did you just say
paper.
Control V, copy?
Yeah, that's what it is on a Mac. Command V.
No, it's
No,
not.
Command
Oh, it's
C.
Command
That's
C.
Command
Oh, I'm
C. That
sorry.
is
Command V is
let you
paste.
down.
Deary me.
Yeah.
Command V's paste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got the wrong way
And
around.
what's
It's not like I was like
what's
massively
Command P,
wrong.
though?
What's Command P? I don't know.
You should know that. Print. Yeah,
Print.
print.
Yes.
Print.
Or if you want to save as PDF, print and then you can on the drop down. Anyone?
You are
Yeah.
such a nerd.
Yeah, well, just a
He
little
knows
bit,
that, but not what colour red and blue make.
You can't like purple is common knowledge when you know the weird shortcuts of printing a PDF.
I tell you. No, wait. Sorry, just like nerding out a little bit. Another shortcut that's great on a Mac. You know when you've got 500 tabs open
Big time.
on it, command and press the numbers. You can flick through the tabs.
Wow.
How
I
do you
always
know
think
what
that
tab's what
someone
number?
who has a bunch of tabs open, like loads,
Yeah.
son of a crazy person.
Yeah, it is.
Like that's someone who like your mental capacity is just
Yeah.
too much.
Yeah.
I like can't keep up with this.
You got-
No,
group
I
them.
don't have mental capacity. I'm just overwhelmed. And my laptop reflects that.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome to episode 3 of the Emmaus Road Youth Podcast. It's not even episode 3. We're on episode 4. Oh my
Damn.
goodness.
Made it
Welcome to
4.
episode 4 of the Emmaus Road Youth Podcast. My name is Joel.
I'm Joe.
Hannah.
Mi amo Emmanuel.
It is great to have you with us back for our season. What Jesus means for my ... We're going to have a lot of fun today.
Yeah, we are.
Let's get cracking. Welcome back, guys, to episode 4 of the Emmaus Road Youth Podcast. We're gonna have a lot of fun today.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about what Jesus means for my influences. Okay, recognizing that we have influence and we are being influenced all of the time, right? We are constantly consuming content. Right now, you are being influenced in some way by these 4 bozos on a couch. For some reason, you've chosen to tune into this, and so thank you for that. We're hoping to bring some influence to influence you, hopefully positively. But we're all being influenced, aren't we?
Yeah.
So we're going to unpack that a little bit. We're going to look at how we can use that influence for good and for change in a really good Christian, godly way. But we've got to play a game.
Come on.
We've got to do it. So, Emmanuel, over to you, my friend.
Right, it's a bit
What
of a
game are we
different
playing?
game, and I've jumped in at it, and we'll see how it goes. But I think the game's called Spyfall.
Spyfall. So like code names.
It's like a little bit of a mafia mix, a little bit of a traitor.
You
Shout
love
out to those
mafia.
incredible games. But basically, I have 4 different roles here. They're all going to pick one. But one of us is going to pick one that will say spy on there. And we're going to have no idea who the spy is. We're going to take it in turns to ask each other questions. And you've got to kind of like figure out who the spy is. So for this first one, I'm going to tell you that we are all in a hospital.
There's a whole story.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're
I've
all
got to
in a
Do I
hospital.
have to get into character?
Kind of, yeah. We're all...
I thought the hospital bit was
Cover
the
your
thing we had
glasses
to
for my
guess.
character.
No.
Thank
I think you could. We'll see how we go, but we could do another round where maybe we don't know.
We've just got into
I'm getting
character.
into character.
You get into character, right? Okay.
Has anyone got a fake
What
moustache?
role are you in
We're
the
gonna find
hospital?
out.
The spy.
And so basically,
Oh,
we're gonna
it's
then
fine.
take it in turns
They make
to
your face
ask
look thinner.
questions.
They do. Sorry.
Take it in turns to ask questions, and then we got to figure out who we think the spy is.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yep.
So yeah, I feel like I shouldn't have gave you the location.
Yeah, that's the point of the game. You have to guess the location.
No, but wait. Do you?
We talked about this. We watched the video
all right.
together.
Here's another one I prepared earlier then.
Because
So we're only
everyone
doing one
has
round.
like a,
Not 2.
Yeah. No.
Does everyone not have a role? And
Everyone
they all
has a
work in the
role.
same place or are at the same place.
Everyone has a role.
So
Okay.
say everyone
Hannah,
else.
do you know how to play this game?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
because
great
him and
game.
I talked
all
about
right,
it
it's good.
together.
Wait, but should we do the first round where everyone knows
left out.
the place as like a ease one?
Do you
in
guys
or
often
not?
have exclusive chats about me and Joel?
This is just in the office.
This is just standard chats. This one. Right. Okay. Go on then. We'll start. We'll take one.
Okay.
I'm gonna take this one. And pass it on.
Okay.
Pass these 2 on.
So, do you guys get what we're doing?
No
No. Do you
idea.
understand?
I'm going to be given a role that might be a spy and it might be
So basically-
anything else.
Look at what
Oh,
your
I
piece of
know.
paper says.
One of it's going to say spy, and I'm going to like, what do you do in the hospital? And I'm going to have to make it up as if like.
no, it's-
Exactly.
If I'm the spy.
But this one isn't like you don't know where the location is or your role.
Okay, so I
Well,
have to,
you know your role. Obviously,
so
you don't
if
know
you're the
location.
spy, you have to then work out based on what other people are saying to try and
Yeah,
get the
but
location.
you got to blend
Yeah,
in. You
because
got-
the
Yeah,
rest of
okay.
us are in the same
Okay,
location.
I call this game Ghost.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
This game, different variation, is what got me the job at Emmaus Road.
What?
Well, there you go.
Genuinely, there was between me and one other person, and the feedback was his game was awesome. Yeah.
And there you have
Danny
it.
Gregg, Hope Andrea, Ethan Bryan.
There you have
What,
it.
you all went for the same job?
No, they just said my game was awesome.
Oh, I was going to say, like,
They were
surely
young
they
people,
were too
weren't
young to be
Yeah.
going for the
No.
job.
But also, do you
They were
understand
in the
how
youth. Yeah,
the
I get it.
hospital
Right, so you get that. We're not in the hospital. We're in a different location.
Why does knowing the location get a giveaway?
So
Are we not
I think
meant
it
to
makes it
guess
easier.
location?
I think it makes it easier,
Okay.
but it makes it harder that you don't know the location. You just know your role, but you don't know what everyone else has.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? You're a
I
smart
think
guy,
Joe's the
Joe.
spy.
Do you know what I mean?
No, I get
Spy.
it. What I don't know is how we go from this point to knowing who the spy. How on earth am I meant to figure that out?
Because
We've got
the
no
spy,
information to go
doesn't
on.
know where
Okay.
we are.
But
Joe.
nor do I know where I am.
Joe, but you have a role.
Yes, I have a role.
Does your role help people?
Generally, yes.
There you go. Does your role help people?
Kind of.
Kind of. Interesting. That's a cop-out answer.
So do you get it, Joe?
I get the premise. I just don't know how any of this is going to help us work out who the spy is.
So you got.
Do you work in a building?
Some of the time.
It is clear. I do get it. You'll figure out. You'll figure
Okay,
it
let's
out.
just
Right.
go.
So we'll go round. So everyone knows what their role
Yeah.
is. You know, okay. So Joe, we'll start with you.
Okay.
You can ask anyone any question, and we'll go and answer it.
I feel so vague. Hannah.
But remember,
I
our
think
jobs
Joe's the
connect,
spy.
don't they? Like,
This is true.
what you've got there connects to me.
What?
Does that make sense? Is that not?
He's got a spy. It doesn't connect to
I
anyone.
promise you, I actually don't. But I
So,
feel like I can't
so
say
answer the
that,
questions as if you are that person.
But I don't know what questions to ask. That's my problem.
Okay, so let me. Okay, we'll
You've
start
got
with
to. You've
you
got to
then.
ask
I've probably asked
questions.
someone to pretend to be
It's
intelligent.
You've
It's
gotta
clearly
ask
not working.
questions.
He's just giving me a
You've got to
headache.
ask questions which will differentiate, which people who know can answer them because they have a role find it easy to answer, and whoever is the spy will struggle to answer it because they
Yeah.
don't know how
you
to
gotta
answer
find
it.
who the spy is.
No,
But-
I know. I've got that bit.
Sorry, that's bad.
I reckon this is like all a ploy, mate.
do you think?
I
do you
think
Joe's
Joel's
just like
the spy.
absolutely doing us over?
I'm sure you're not.
Right, okay. Right, go on then.
You go first. You ask
Right.
Joe a question. Ask
Hannah.
anyone. Yeah.
Do you go to this place often?
Me personally, or my
What
role?
place? We don't know where we are. How should we answer the question?
No, we'll say you as your role.
You, not even your character. I didn't know you could do that.
That's my role. He did
Yeah,
say
now
my
you
role.
got-
Oh,
But
your role.
I don't know what the place is.
So how are you meant to know if she goes to that place often if we don't know what the place is? Because I know what my role is, but my role could work in hundreds of
So
different
is
places.
it going to be helpful if I tell you what the place is?
This is just different from the game I thought we played.
Joel, you get it, don't you?
I feel like you have to jump in and do it for like just to play along, and then you'll start to work it out.
Maybe just that question.
Go on, Hannah.
Do I go to this place often? Every day, if it's the place I'm thinking of.
Okay.
So now Hannah gets to ask a question.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask one to you.
Okay.
Okay. Do you work with people?
It depends on what the job is. Most of the time, yes. Most of the time, yeah.
Straight down the middle answer.
It does. It does though.
You said what? Most of it depends what the job is.
It depends what you're doing that day.
I think if
That's
if you
a very
think
valuable
what I
answer
think
for
you're
most
right,
jobs.
I feel like I know. I think you're right.
Yeah. It depends what it depends what the act like what specific part of the role you're doing.
Joel Mary is so confused.
All right, go on, Joel.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Yeah.
going to be such a rubbish. I can only think of questions like, what are the promotion opportunities?
What?
within this job?
Promotion opportunities.
Yeah. What's like? What would you go on to do after this? After that role?
I would tend to be. I would stick in one place,
Yep.
but depending on who's around me, I may get moved.
Okay.
And that's a promotional opportunity.
I feel like it makes it harder the fact that we don't know where it is, but yeah, I like it. This is good.
That's what I said at the very beginning. You told me I was stupid.
You get to ask a question now.
Emmanuel, do you wear a uniform for your job?
Ooh, good
Yeah,
question.
I do.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, it's me.
What's your yes?
At what point do we just start to guess people?
I think we'll go a couple
I think
of
Joel's
times.
fine.
Right. Joel.
Me. Okay.
Do you tend to get quite dirty?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Are they only yes and no questions?
No, you can ask her there.
I asked him what promotion opportunities there were.
Joe, can you describe this? Can I ask this? Can you describe the setting of your work?
My work.
Yeah, what it looks like.
Okay, not this mystery location that none of us know where we are. It depends on what part of the job I'm doing. Often it would be in an office, which could be doing paperwork at a desk, but also there is some out on the field in the community work as well, interacting with people. Yeah.
Okay.
Can you clarify what you mean by field there? As in like
Not
field,
a
as in like
literal field.
field agent, like you're out and about. That's what you mean.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Helpful.
So it depends on. Yes. Depends on the day. But
So my question is to you as well, Joe. What type of people do you feel like you meet in the field?
Oh, that's a good question.
predominantly people that are troubled.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know if Joseph's doing incredibly well here, or is he
He's not
actually
the smart.
like?
I'm not a good liar. You would know. Yeah,
Okay,
predominantly
okay.
people that are in troubled, sometimes that need help, but yeah, mostly people that need. Yeah, I don't know how else to word it without it giving it away.
That's
Am I
good.
allowed to just be
Nah,
really
that's good.
obvious, or should I not be?
I don't know what the point of the game is.
No, not massively.
I don't think anyone does.
You got to basically figure out he's a spy. Go on, John.
It's your question, though. mate.
Question. That was a good question. I'm going to ask the same question to you, Hannah. Yeah.
What does my day look like? Is that what the question
No.
was?
Ooh.
I
What
can't
sort of
remember.
people do
What
you
type of
interact
people
with?
do you interact with?
It can be a variety of people, so it can just be normal citizens. It can also be people that are troubled. It can also be people that have been troubled by others.
I feel like we might be doing the same job.
It can be. I feel like that might be too specific if I say that. Lots of people that work around the law.
Mm.
The thing is, so hang on. It's definitely not you
How?
because you wrote them.
Yeah, but he might have given himself the spy.
But
he
then
ran-
he's going to know what it is, so he's going to be the
that's what I
easiest
just
spy.
realised
No,
as well.
but so I maybe have a slight advantage, but
Yeah, but you know what it is.
what do you mean?
Well,
Can we all
he's
just
really
vote?
struggling right now to work out what he's going to ask and answer. And so, but you know what, like, the role
You're
is.
the only one that knows what this mystery location is that we're apparently all in. That's meant to be the only bit of common ground that we share, but no one knows what it is.
I feel like it may or may not be giving me an advantage. I don't think it is. I don't think
If
it
you
is.
have spy written on your paper,
Right.
you still know what's written on all of our
Yeah.
papers. But Joe, as the spy, doesn't know what's written on our paper.
Oh, I see.
I'm not the spy.
Right,
But if
so
you were-
should we
if
go
I
last
was-
round of questions or should we guess?
I
My
think we
question is,
guess.
Just go
Emmanuel,
for it.
are you the spy?
Do we have to all just guess? And
No, I think let's go around and vote who we think the spy is.
All right.
Okay.
Go on, who wants to go first?
I think it's
Okay.
Emmanuel.
You all think, do you all think it's
we were
me?
just going to vote for one another.
Are you all think,
I
you.
don't think it's you.
I am not the spy.
What? Okay.
Is that like
Are we revealing who we are?
So
'Cause this is
yeah,
like
I
15
think-
minutes worth of video
Yeah,
right
I
now.
think,
Sorry,
I think we
that's-
now reveal it.
Yeah.
So who's the spy?
I think it's you. Then.
I think it's you, Joel.
Yeah, it's me.
Yeah.
I'm the spy.
That was
That
my
makes
initial guess.
sense.
You
That makes a
accused
lot
me
of
so quickly.
sense.
Okay,
I
I
think
think
Were you?
no
Can I
sense.
guess? Can I guess? Were you some sort of like 24/7 Ibiza team?
no, I was
No.
a judge.
I was,
Judge.
Criminal.
I was a police officer.
A criminal.
Criminal.
What is going on?
Where were we? There's meant to be this common
So
ground.
we're supposed to be in a courtroom.
Courtroom. Yeah.
Oh.
I feel like if we knew where we were, it gives it away too much.
Sorry, I've played it differently where you have to guess where you are. Like, that's the main thing. Or, like, you say what you see in this place. You say, like...
I felt like I dealt a pretty bad hand.
yeah, that
Because
was
like,
crazy.
what? You're all saying different things, so I've just got to make it sound similar but not the same. Like, how am I meant to do that?
That was
you have
hard.
it.
That's
There's that
funny.
absolute
How lo-
riveting game.
Ben, how long was that? How far into this podcast are we?
I think my judge was about 10 minutes.
We're 25
Are you
minutes
for
into
real?
My
the
word,
podcast.
that's so...
That was
16 minutes worth of video. Anyway,
in my head. That was supposed to be like 7
we're really
minutes.
sorry if this is a really long episode. I don't know if that was fun
I
to
have a
watch
track
or
record
not.
at this point of just playing games for way too long. I called it out early, and it's actual facts. It's just like
We did a Youth Weekend away, guys, and our like 15-minute clip of hosting some games at the beginning of the session was an
An
hour
hour.
long.
Yeah.
And this is Emmanuel
night
just
one?
didn't stop playing games.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember it was like, have we got time for another? No.
No.
Let's do another one!
We didn't have time for another 20 minutes ago.
Amazing. So what do we have?
those
Criminal,
riveting game.
judge, and a police officer, and a spy. Those people have influence, right? Speaking of influence,
What a segue.
He's not wrong.
not wrong.
It's true, it's true.
No, unbelievable, influential people. Influence. Influence. What does that word mean?
my head goes all over the place with it because I think about we are people of influence. We are influenced by things. And yeah, I don't know. I also think like, should we want influence?
Should we want influence?
I think it's like how you are shaped, like what traits you see in other people or in the culture around you that makes you who you are, but also how those kind of traits shape other people as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, how so much of your personality is, or so much of your like, even your style, I think, is shaped by those around you and what's kind of cool or seen as
Big time.
popular and things like that.
Yeah, I think influence, like very broadly, is just like the effect of our surroundings on us. It's like influence is just anything that has an effect, like a determining effect on the way that you choose to live. Does that make sense? So like, it's a very broad definition, but I think that's why we say that we definitely are all influenced by things and all have influence on things, because it is something that I think often we think of influence, we think of it being like a really big deal of like, but actually we're influenced in really little ways all of the time by all of our surroundings. And
Yeah.
So,
How has the term influencer changed our perception of whether influence is a good or a bad thing?
that's a good question.
It's so yeah. Do you know what? I think for me, it's shone a negative light on it for me.
Okay.
Because I just think about how many social media influencers, whether it's been on YouTube, TikTok, whatever, Insta, like so I love YouTube and I watch quite a few like different people on YouTube. Someone that I've watched for a good while called Casey Neistat. Love it. He's like really cool
Yeah,
videos,
he's a cool guy.
really, really good. But like him, he was like very early in this like influencer sort of image. But then very quickly, if you probably remember Joe, he was just like, he came on video and just said, this public lifestyle is just ruining my family life.
Wow.
And he's ruining my life like as a husband and as a human being, because he's just constantly wanting to capture everything on video, and constantly like living his life for other people.
That's nuts.
And like, you know, oh, we should do this because it's going to get loads of views, or we should, you know, act in this way because this is going to be funny for the people online, and, you know, trying to deal with, you know, comments and what people think. And it's just like, and I think I've seen so many of those stories where like people have got thousands, millions or whatever of followings online, but then they kind of years on in their life go, this isn't as good as what it seems.
That's nuts. So I asked that question because I feel like I had an answer in my head about what I wanted, not wanted to, but what I thought about that. And I was like, I don't like the term influencer because I think it means that it communicates, I think, subtly, maybe not spokenly, subtly, that influence is something that you have to put on and show people to influence. But I think that the best influence in my life haven't been the times when people have like put on a show to teach me, but it's been at their like worst and negative, like almost like in the trenches of life, how they've responded and reacted are the things that have helped me and like influenced me the most. I'm like, I don't like this idea that influence is what influences other people is the polished, perfect videos that we can capture online, and then I can learn or like engage with content that way. But actually, it's more about who you are as a person, allowing you to influence me positively. Comes from more than just like the highlight reel of my life, because like I had a really great quote once from Craig Groeschel in his book called Struggles. It was like, social media is, never compare yourself to social media, because social media is the highlight reels of people's life and you're comparing it to the deleted scenes of yours.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how do those two things go together? And I think like that old influencer culture is like, we only exist in the highlight reels, and actually we need influence even to our deleted scenes and our struggles as well. And I didn't have a full on answer there, but I just thought that was really interesting. It's like, that is like what I show people is affecting the real of my life.
It's great what you said, Joe, in the sense of, I think it's very true of, we tend to think of influence and we just think the masses instantly. Like we just think, hundreds of people, thousands or whatever. We don't really think about like the everyday or like the reality of our life. Yeah. Where realistically, we've probably got a lot more influence there than we would say on a social media platform or. Yeah.
So who has influence?
Everyone.
Felt
like a trick question.
Maybe, maybe it is a trick question. Like,
I think everyone.
Yeah.
I think everyone can have influence. I think there's probably a thing of some people have more that naturally are. I think often, and maybe this is a cultural thing rather than a truth of influence as a concept, but the louder you are, the more attention you get, and so therefore often the more influence you have, or you might have a wider spread of influence. But I think everyone can be influential in their spheres.
Come on,
if they choose to be, because I think you can shy away and like hide and like actively not try and influence the space. But I think, everyone naturally does have influence, unless you shy away from it.
So, like, put a positive spin on it. If we, like, everyone has an influence. Who have been some of the most... Everyone has influence, but everyone is influenced as well, right? So who have been some of the like most influential people in your lives?
The one I automatically go to is a woman called Trisha Roy, and she was a woman at the church I went to in Edinburgh, and she used to do loads of work with refugees, but she was just one of these people that like was so passionate, so loving, so kind, but really kind of created a community with them. So would like do dinner with them all the time, would just like run events where she would like they would have loads of Syrian food, and it would just be like I felt like a partnership rather than I'm doing this really good thing. But one thing she did was we went over to Calais to the refugee camp that was set up there at that time, and she would take teams over like so regularly.
Wow.
But what I loved about her was she's this woman in her 60s, and I saw her at the gathering, and she's had so much influence in my life, but she was like, I feel really challenged. I feel like I need to be passionate again about working with refugees. And I'm like, you are. To me, you are so passionate. But it was just that she just felt challenged again, and that she was always so encouraging to me, and just so like, you're doing so great, and just one of these people that very different personality wise, but I loved her drive and her vision and her passion, and it kind of influenced how I treated people, and just I want to be as passionate about people as she is.
I love that story.
Yeah.
So good.
I can think of someone, an individual in my life called Isaac Olarankinche. And he has been, one of the most influential people in my life, for sure. Just because of the thing that I love most about him is that he's just not trying to be someone that he's not. He's just so like imperfect in so many ways. And what I love about that is that he's carries a really high level of just self-awareness of like, he just knows how imperfect he is. But then because of that, he just knows how much he needs Jesus.
Yeah.
And so he's obsessed with Jesus. Loves it. He'll be at every single worship gathering he can if he could do that. But he's just got a constant desire to be in God's presence, whatever that looks like. And what one of the many things I've learned from him over the years is just that you can, like, you're never too far gone. You're never too far gone for God. And he's, God's heart for us is absolutely massive, and you can always come back to him. But I've just love how he's been super influential in my life, just for his wisdom, the way he lives his life. Again, he's just so beautifully imperfect. He's so aware of that, but he's just trying and trying to love God as best as he can. That. And he does it in the most, well, in my opinion, most incredible way ever.
That's cool.
Love that, man. EJ?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think it's hard to pick one, like I think there's so many people, and I think there are some people that have like, it's been like people that I don't know, or like preachers or worship pastors that have said like one-liners that have like changed the way I think about things. But then there's people that I've like actually done life with, that like John Mark Comer. I love a bunch of his books, and they've like helped me understand a bunch of stuff, but like I don't know him, so like he's influenced me in one way, but then actually I think on a more personal level, probably one of the people that's been the biggest influence in my life, definitely growing up, it's my cousin Luke, who's like he's had a hard childhood for lots of reasons, that some tricky family stuff, and was dealt a bit of a rough card, but as a kid, but as like now as an adult, of just like the way he is now one of the kindest and like most gentle men I know, and he is so funny and generous with his time and his energy, so committed to family, like he's just at everything, and he's just had a baby, which is adorable, but called Teddy, which is the cutest name.
Teddy.
That's just the right name.
But yeah, he's someone who, like, despite having some real hardship and some like real rough stuff go on, just like the man that he has then become is like, awesome. And I like grew up spending loads of time with him and his sister, and so like there's like, I think there's something to say there as well of like we're definitely influenced most by the things we're most regularly surrounded by.
Yeah.
So like I say, there are like the one-liners that preachers have said that have changed my perspective and stuff, but really on a core level of like who I am has been most influenced by the people I spent the most time with. And with Luke, my cousin, I was at his house every weekend as a kid, and so like there's like an element of like, we just spent loads of time together, but then also a lot of like looking up to him as a man. So yeah.
So going on that, like just going down that train a little bit, the people we spend time with are like the people who have the most influence on us, right? And so we also recognise straight away, we've talked about it already, there's both positive and negative bad influences in the world. right? What we're not saying, and I think what we're not trying to communicate today, is that we need to remove every bad influence from our life, right? I can think of really specific situations where I'd be like, some of the people that I grew up with were some of the most bad influences on my life at that time. Like my friends at school, like weren't Christians, didn't follow Jesus, and were really bad influences. And they were the people I spent the most of my time around. But I was at school. Like I needed to have friends at school, and for the most part, they were like good people. That was just they made some really questionable choices. So how do we navigate that like tricky situation where we know that we're called to look at the positive influences in the world, and that's who we're meant to look up to and spend our time with and surround ourselves with, as you said, Joe, but also existing in a reality where we don't have choice over everything that we see or the people that we spend time with. I also just like the complexity of like social media is like it's filled with this whole spectrum of good and bad, and you can't filter out like personally. Like sometimes there's going to be things that pop up on your screen that aren't going to be good, and sometimes there's going to be things that are really good. How do you like live in a world where there's positive and negative influences? You can't just cut it off. So like someone talk into that a little bit.
Yeah, I'll jump in. I think for me, because the thing that's always helped me in that is just being true to who I am, and holding who I am as like center and as focus, in whatever circle I kind of find myself in. So what that tends to look like is, okay, say I'm with a bunch of friends that are all, laughing about something or talking about something that I'm like, that's probably not going to be best for me to kind of laugh about or joke about. He's just not really engaging in that. And I think you can still be in that circle, but I think for me in those, because I can just count many a times in my head where I've been like, okay, well, I don't actually like talk about this stuff, or like this isn't the way I talk about this, because, I'm a Christian, and, in those, God kind of graced me with opportunities in those circles to sort of speak like that. But then other spaces where it's like, okay, because as people of faith, we do things differently. And I think it's just acknowledging that in whatever space that you're in, and knowing that because of that, there are ways that there are different ways you engage in stuff, I think. And I think sometimes you find yourself in a position where it's an opportunity to actually share about, why do you not talk about this in this way? Or why do you not listen to this? Or why do you not laugh when everyone else is laughing about that? Or why are you not joining in this when we're doing that? And for me, my life's kind of littered with those moments where that's happened and people have noticed, you're different for some reason. And embracing that.
And that difference, like that, you're different, is us having influence.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Big time.
I remember at school that I've got some really good friends who I'm still friends with now, but they started hanging out with this group of guys, and like this was like I think it was a Holy Spirit thing, to be honest. I just never felt comfortable around them, and it just always we would just go to the beach and like hang out with them, but I just always felt like they aren't treating my friends or me very kindly. I don't feel comfortable around them, and I've got to make a choice if I do spend time with them. So I hung out with my like girlfriends without them, and then I had another group of friends that I'd hang out with, but I would never hang out with those boys because I was like, the way they're treating people isn't kind, and that choice is a really hard choice to make, especially in school. But for lots of reasons, it was the right choice for me, and like my friends, I ended up not being friends with them and stuff. But I think sometimes you actually have to be quite bold in that. And I remember like my friends would be like, why have we not seen you in ages? And I was just like, I just don't want to hang around with people that aren't very kind. I was like 15.
15? That's quite young
brave
to be like that bold.
But to be honest, I was very fortunate. I had another group of friends with boys who were really kind and really lovely, and I just enjoyed spending time with people that actually respected me.
Yeah.
So
that would probably be the thing that I was going to say about like how do you navigate when we do have people around us that maybe aren't the best influences, but they are still our friends, and they are still people that we go to school with, and like you don't want to just cut people off because they make choices that are different to yours necessarily. But I think actually that thing of finding community with people that are good influences as well. So like whether that's maybe your friends at school make some silly choices, but finding friends at church who like, because that thing of like the being true to who you are, like I think actually sometimes you need, when you're under pressure and peer pressure and your friends are making choices that you're not sure if you should or not, actually sometimes knowing who you are or being true to that is really hard and unclear. And so actually having community and friends that do share the same values as you, so that then you can be like almost affirmed by like, oh, actually no, like I know X, Y, and Z would back my decision here to not do this thing or to stay away from this conversation of like, because I think the scary thing about trying to not get caught up in negative influences is the fear of being alone or the fear of like being rejected. And so actually trying to find influence and or community that are, well, Christians, but just have more similar values to you,
Big time.
can then also be really helpful in when you are hanging out with your friends who do stuff differently. That
Big time. And on top of that, like I'd build upon that and say, when you are in a situation where, you know, the exact situation you've talked about, you've got friends, they're making bad choices, but they're still your friends. You still go to school with them. You still care for them.
It's true.
It's like
still fun to hang out with.
You influence and are influenced, and so in that relationship, you have to make the bold call, like Hannah did, to be the influencer, not be the influencee. I guess to be like recognizing the dynamic of a situation. To be like, you're making some really bad decisions. I'm not going to make those bad decisions intentionally, being bold and even choosing to not always remove yourself from situations. Like that's quite like a really big thing to do, but to not get sucked into doing bad things or to saying the wrong things or to being mean to people or being unkind, but to be really intentional with doing the opposite. And praying. Actually, then your influence would be what helps other people. I think that's how we can navigate those situations when you're trying like. But I think it's easier to do that when you have what you're talking about. It's like you've got that strong community of people who are cheering you on for what you know to be right. For me, like one of the big things, when I was at school, I found it really tricky to live out my faith in school. So what I'd make sure I do is spend just as much time with my church friends as I would in school. So I knew that the balance wasn't off in my life, like my influence was. And then over the course of my life, I've been able to, because I don't go to school anymore, tilt that balance.
Sorry, it just made me laugh that you don't go to school anymore.
No,
that's probably good.
32, so that's a good thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've been able to tilt that balance, so I can actually spend more time with the people and the influences I know are good for me.
Just a really practical thing that really helped me is like in group chats, if people are slagging someone off, I'll never engage with it. I'll never if they're like gossiping about someone, I'll just not engage with it. And I think that's really helpful because that really sets you apart. I'm also really bad at replying in group chats, so that might be part of the reason. But I just wouldn't. I'm like, there's no point in adding to that, because just in case, what if they saw? How hurtful would that be? I just think, that's
it's really good.
Yeah, and I think the whole thing about like coming back to what Joel was saying a second ago, of actually, I think almost a choice. If you can either remove yourself from situations, which sometimes is the right thing to do and is really wise, but also there's a situation of if you only hang out with Christians, or if you've got non-Christian friends who you stop hanging out with them because they're a bad influence, then how are they ever going to meet Jesus? For some people, you might be the only Christian friend that they have, and you might be the only person, the only thing in their world that is remotely connecting them to Jesus. And so actually, there's the verse in the Bible that often gets taken out of context, which is definitely what I'm about to do. But the whole thing of like, you were born for such a time as this, and this whole thing of like, what if Jesus put you in that person's life because you're the person that Jesus is using to change their world? And so like that's not meant to be a pressured thing, but the little choices of not joining in with a conversation when they're being horrible about someone else, or not joining in when they're being disrespectful to teachers, or saying, oh, maybe we shouldn't talk about this person quite like that. Like those little moments of bravery and
I think that's really
standing
good.
up is like the influence that
Yeah.
Yeah.
you could
I
carry.
think that's really good. Like reshaping the whole moment as opposed to what do I need to do to cut off bad influences so I cherish my own soul. It's like, what purpose is God giving me from being in this situation?
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah,
Like, so it's like where you are is where you are. Like the school friends you have, they're probably all like great people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you know, and we know that the Lord like loves everyone. Like for God to love the world. Like so, it's like asking like God, what is my role and what purpose do you want me to have here in this time?
Yeah.
I think that's such a good question to like to ask. And I think when you think like that, and it doesn't become like a I'm going to cut people out. That's hard. It becomes more like a I want to. You go from being influenced to being the influencer. I think it's like just scaling it up from not just you as an individual, but it's really hard not to disconnect social media from this conversation, isn't it? And I know that a lot of people, I did it. I don't have Instagram. Like I've never got TikTok. I barely use. I mean, this is show my age. I barely use Facebook. Yeah, because that's the thing. A lot of like, just how you just know what's going on in people's lives, right? So I don't really have like social media, but I know there's a lot of people who are like, we need to cut that out because it's a bad influence on kids and young people. And I'm like, I don't think that's the right call to just cut things off completely. I think we want to invade that space with the positivity that Jesus brings. And that's why I love like it when people post like what they're reading in the Bible, like what scripture they've done, what like prophetic words they've had, what they're praying for, like all that sort of stuff on their like social media accounts to be like, this is all positive and this is how I'm living my life. And like engaging with that stuff is like a really great way, and you're like invading the darkness with light. I think that's a really good way of like.
Just really quick on that, because that was one really quick way of like how I shifted things in my life.
Really?
For me was basically, what stuff do I follow on social media? I've just like, from beforehand it could be just so much nonsense that's on there, but literally just by changing what you follow on social media can just shift so much. And I'm not saying, go on there and follow every single Christian thing that you can, but if you want to do that, go ahead. But like, just
Emmaus Road Youth.
Come on.
Just shifting or monitoring what are you seeing on your feed? Like, is it just a bunch of photos of whatever else, or is it actually some stuff that's going to be helpful for you? And there's a bunch of amazing resources out there that you can follow and get on that are literally just a minor change that can reshape your world and your faith.
It's true.
What are some of the most help people out here? What are some of the things really practically people can go away and grab hold of a really positive influencing thing? Whether it's an Instagram account, a book, a podcast, a song. What are some of the things that you think are really great?
My memory for this kind of thing is shocking.
I think it's not like a podcast or any sort of recommendation in that, but I think something that I find helpful and regularly ask myself the question, particularly in conversation about people, which I find in school, like gossip is such a huge thing. And even like talking about celebrities, not just the people we know, but like people just rip into celebrities. And like, I think the question that I always ask in my head is this honouring and is this kind? And I think
Big
like
questions.
whether it's the way you're talking about someone or the way you're treating people, like I think asking that question has helped shape countless decisions that I've made. And so like for young people listening, like in schools, like if your friends are doing something and you're like, should I be engaging in this or not? Just really simply, is this kind? And it feels like such like a basic question. And a bit of a boring question, because I think being kind is often like you're a bit of a melt just for being kind, like it's a bit, but I think being kind is like one of the most underrated things. And I think just that question really simply of like, in this situation, are the choices that my friends making, are they being kind? And if they're not, I don't want to be a part of it. And then it does always just require a bit of bravery to stand up against that, or to choose to not engage in that. But I think that's like, is it in science the like litmus test? Is that what they call it? In my head, that's what I was. You were a science guys. You did science.
Scientists.
Hannah's a scientist.
In all forms, computing.
Emmanuel
biology.
loved chemistry. But yeah, that's like almost my like litmus test of should I be engaging in this behaviour or not? is it kind and is it honouring? And that goes down to like the stuff I follow on Instagram, the kind of jokes that I make, the kind of actions that I make towards people, even the inaction that I have towards people of like ignoring people or not talking to people. So yeah, is it kind? It's like my real basic overarching top tip. But
Yeah, no, I think that's great. I don't know how to follow on from that.
it's not that good.
Resources
Fun
or
resources.
books or Instagram accounts.
I can never like remember like specific Instagram accounts, and this is so unhelpful, but I really like the ones with like it kind of breaks down like a verse, and it's usually got a pretty pastel colour behind it. But that's only on my For You page, so I don't know how you find that.
I don't know.
Maybe just type in verses.
Verse of the day. There's
I
got
know,
to be an
is it,
Instagram account of verse of the day.
Oh no, it's something. It's like Messy Bible Pure Heart, and she like breaks down a lot of. I've
Wow.
probably got that really wrong, but she like will like highlight loads of bits and break it down.
There you go.
2 accounts that I recommend that we've actually chatted about today, but The Way UK are really cool
Absolutely.
young adult Christians that are like just exploring faith together in like podcast style, but also street interviews, and then very similar thing, but a page called Wooden Spoon Ministry that do basically the same.
See your friend.
Why are you shouting him out?
I'm friends with the guy.
Yeah, well,
It's called
yeah,
Ben.
well.
He's a legend.
Shout out
But he
Ben.
shout out Ben. Wooden Spoon Ben. But yeah, they
Ben, the
not
producer.
producer Ben. Shout out to producer Ben as well. He's great. But yeah, those 2 pages are just
Ben
like
Forman photo and video.
yeah. Those 2 pages, The Way and Wooden Spoon Ministry, are just like young people trying to figure out faith and like being honest about it and exploring bits of scripture and chatting with people around them that both do love Jesus and don't know Jesus about their experience of it. And I found those like honest conversations around faith can be really insightful and really
Yeah.
helpful.
Yeah, one that I've found really helpful over the years, actually is brilliant, is a Instagram page, it's probably on other social forms of social media, called Fighting a New Drug. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. Fighting a New Drug are great. They do a lot about sexuality, and particularly talk about porn. And give educate basically on like how to have the conversation, what like just into all of that world from a healthy perspective and from a faith perspective, which is brilliant. But they also talk about sexuality and how to navigate some of that stuff as well. That I always find is a brilliant page to.
Yeah. One of the things that I think I've got a lot of things. One of the things that might be helpful to say here is an Insta account called Young Minds UK, I think. And they're basically like an organisation that try and help young people with their mental health. Just give like really top tips, really practical advice on what to do when you're feeling like maybe you're in a state of depression, or you're feeling high anxiety over something, or you've got other things going on. They just give really practical advice if that's something that you're going through. And so it's accessible in a place. And they like make really good recommendations for like people to see, things to do, other apps to use. To help you with those things. They're really I think they're great. Follow them on Instagram as well. Make sure I share some of their content as well.
One last thing, there's
Yeah,
a
go
few
on.
different like youth festivals that often some of their pages like promoting their event, but also lots of them will push like different resources and podcasts. So Wildfires is one of them, Wildfires Youth, but then also
Yeah.
Dreaming the Impossible and Limitless are both 2 youth festivals that their socials are some event promo, but also there's loads of like Bible plans and like, again, just that thing of realizing how many other people are in the same boat as you, like how many other young Christians are out there that are trying to explore and work out this whole faith thing together. And so I think they can be really great. Youthscape is another one.
Magnitude, that's a Scottish one. Just want to put that
Magnitude,
in there.
come on.
Magnitude.
There's loads of other youth festivals as well that I've missed there, but
Yeah. There's good influences out there.
Yeah, there is.
Every-
And there's bad influences out there.
Also
We
everywhere.
navigate this tricky world of like trying to work out what's good and what's bad and what we consume, what we don't consume. And I think what we're trying to say here is that what we're not trying to say is cut off all the bad and only engage with the good stuff. Impossible to do.
Yeah.
But I think the first step is to bring awareness as to what you're being influenced by. Like to be aware of what effect that is having on you and what effect that is having on your life, and then to take measures to make sure that you live in a balanced place, not one of like mindlessly consuming content in a way that is harmful. I think that's kind of what we're trying to say
Yeah.
today. And just as we finish, like obviously, I'm going to read a bit of scripture out. If you call yourself a follower of Jesus, which I know we all do, and I know a lot of people watching do, we are called to influence people, not just in a positive way so they can live a better life, but also we believe we have the hope of all life. Like we believe that Jesus is the hope of the world. And actually when we influence people, we're doing it with a higher purpose than just like, I hope they're having a great day and I want to help them. But actually we want to help people come into a relationship with God. And so I'm just going to read this verse out, and then Emmanuel, can you just pray for us to close us off?
Sure.
But yes, this verse says this. You can find it in Matthew. It says, "You are the salt of the earth, but what good is salt if it has lost its flavour? Can you make it salty again? No, it will be thrown out and trampled underfoot. Because you are the light of the world, like a city on a hilltop that cannot be hidden. No one lights a lamp and then puts it under a basket. Instead, a lamp is placed on a stand, where it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your good deeds shine out for all to see, so that everyone will praise your heavenly Father."
Yeah, God, we just thank you. Thank you for the thank you for where you've placed us in whatever school that's in or whatever youth community, and thank you for those people that you've put around us. I pray that you just help us to be different sometimes when it's needed. Give us the boldness and the courage to speak up, or to refrain from conversations, or equally to step in where it's needed. And I just thank you for the we refuse to believe the lie that we're going to be alone or we'll be rejected. But God, I just thank you for that you honor us, and actually we go in power and strength of the Almighty. And so I just thank you. I pray that you help us as we make steps to bring positive influence in our life, and people that are in our life to influence us for good, to direct us and lead us in the things of you. Help us as we go in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Well, thank you guys for today. Thank you,
you.
Emmanuel, Hannah, Joe, for your wisdom. Thank you, Emmanuel, for that game.
Chaos.
Try and pass out the responsibility of the games to these guys and look what happens. Anyway, it's been a pleasure to hang out with you today.
Come on.
Hopefully you have a phenomenal week, and we will see you next time. Bye.